Today on Science Meets Cooks, we are going to teach you about Salmonella Typhi while making Turkish delight. Salmonella Typhi is an enterica bacteria, meaning it occurs in the intestines. It reproduces asexually through the process of binary fission. One Salmonella Typhi produces 2 every 20 to 40 minutes in prime conditions. These prime conditions are hot and clammy.
Ingredients of Turkish delight.
Ingredients of Salmonella. Salmonella typhi is carried through the bloodstream and the intestinal tract, causing typhoid fever. Some people who contract typhoid fever become carriers and the bacteria lives on. People with typhoid fever and carriers both release salmonella through their stool. Only around 3 to 5% of people who survive typhoid fever become carriers. It is then passed on to others that come into contact with contaminated water or food. These can be contaminated either by being touched by someone with Salmonella Typhi with unclean hands, or by drinking or cooking with water from a contaminated cooking source.
Back to Turkish delight. First we add sugar in a bowl. Then add the lemon extract. Set aside.
One sure way to avoid salmonella is to pour your water into a filter to avoid any contaminants. After you've poured the water into a filter, feel free to use that water to cook, clean, or drink.
Next, pour the water into the sugar and lemon mixture. Heat and stir. Set a timer to 15 minutes. While that's cooking, we must use more clean water and add that to our cornstarch. Heat this mixture well until combined. But don't forget about the sugar mixture. Once the sugar mixture has reached the correct temperature, transfer the sugar mixture into the cornstarch mixture.
Stir continuously for an hour on low heat. Salmonella typhi affects the liver, spleen, and bone marrow, as well as the gallbladder, biliary system, and the lymphatic tissue of the bowel. Symptoms of salmonella include a very high ongoing fever of up to 103 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit, nausea, loss of appetite, stomach aches, headaches, chills, and a possible rash of flat, rose-colored spots. Here are some do's and don'ts to prevent Salmonella typhi. Do: drink bottled water that has been sealed and carbonated. Do: drink water that has been boiled, filtered, and treated. Make sure your ice has been made with bottled or disinfected water. Always wash your hands, and if soap and water are not available, clean your hands with hand sanitizer containing at least 60% alcohol. Here are the don'ts. Don't drink tap or well water. Don't use ice made with tap or well water. Don't have drinks made with tap or well water, such as reconstituted juice. Don't drink from water fountains. Don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth. If you need to touch your face, make sure your hands are clean. Try to avoid close contact, such as kissing, hugging, or sharing eating utensils or cups with people who are sick. The mortality rate of Salmonella typhi before the use of antibiotics was 20%. Today, because of the use of antibiotics, it has been reduced to 1 to 2%. There is usually improvement within 1 to 2 days of treatment and a full recovery within 7 to 10 days. Another way to prevent Salmonella Typhi medicinally is through the use of vaccines. Vaccines should be used when you are going on a vacation to a country that has lower sanitation requirements than your own. You should get your vaccine 1 to 2 weeks before your vacation so that it has time to integrate into your bloodstream.
Typhoid fever affects roughly 17 million people annually.
It is most common in developing countries with poor sanitary systems and a lack of antibiotics.
Recently, the countries that you are most at risk of catching salmonella are from Latin America, Asia, and Africa.
You are much more protected from this infection if you live in countries like America, Western Europe, Australia, Japan, or Canada.
More than 40 people, mostly residents of the city of Naga in the Philippines, were brought to 2 hospitals last Sunday after eating spoiled boko salad. All hospitalized suffered from the same symptoms, which were severe stomach aches, vomiting, loose bowel movement, high-grade fever, and headaches. These are signs of Salmonella Typhi. Later on, it was found out that they had typhoid fever. Now back to Turkish Delight.
Remove the Turkish Delight from the pan. Remove all baking paper. Take pieces of Turkish Delight and roll it into a mixture of powdered sugar and cornstarch. And now you know everything you need to make your own Turkish Delight, and you know how to be safe from salmonella.